about some of the situations that you should be watching. We're 10 hours and change away from our preseason game here tonight on ESPN, Raiders and Texans. But there's a bunch of different things people should be watching for. Let's talk about the Steelers, Shefty. What are their plans at quarterback?
Well, they're going to play the two young quarterbacks, Will Howard and Drew Allar. Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph will not play. They have four quarterbacks. Obviously, they could wind up dealing one of them. They have to figure out which ones they're going to keep. And Drew Allar flashed in the preseason the first week and looked very impressive. They want to see if he can keep that up and continue to look strong.
That's what I want to ask both my quarterbacks here, because every year I don't learn my lesson. Every year I see things happen in the preseason and I get super excited about them, and then they amount to nothing, and I say, you know what, I'm never going to do that again. How big a deal should people make of how good Drew Allar looked in that first preseason?
I think it's a big deal just because of what we saw in college and how far that was removed from how talented he was. The production wasn't there, the decision-making, the mechanics, all that looks so much better. And I know it's preseason, but I actually think Will Howard and Drew Allar are pushing to both be on this roster. I think depending on how they play, maybe Mason Rudolph is the one that goes. If they feel one of those guys can be a stopgap if Rodgers goes down with an injury, or be the future, obviously, at some point.
Tim, quickly, what do you think?
Yeah, listen, preseason games don't count, but they matter, and they really matter for young quarterbacks. The ideal situation for young quarterbacks is go to these situations where you have veterans like Aaron Rodgers that aren't going to play, and you get this opportunity. And I think that, like, sometimes that unlocks it. Look, that's how my brother ended up with a nearly 20-year career in the NFL, is Brett Favre didn't play in the preseason. He became kind of Mr. August, and it led to becoming a starter, a long-time starter in the NFL. So I think this stuff matters a lot for guys like Allar and Howard and others.
A really good point. All right, Shefty, the next one, people watching, if they're watching the Broncos tomorrow night, what will they see?
Bo Nix back in action. The last time we saw him was in the divisional playoff game against Buffalo, and then a short time later, we found out that he fractured his ankle, was out, needed 2 surgeries during the offseason. He's going to return to game action Friday night. That's a big deal for the Denver Broncos to see how Bo Nix looks when he's back on the field. My guess is it'll be strong.
Quickly, Jordan, what are you watching for with him coming back here?
Just how explosive he is off that foot. Obviously had another surgery in April to kind of clean up some bone spurs. His athleticism is an X factor that he uses. 9 touchdowns, almost 800 yards rushing the last couple years. It's an underrated part of his game. Want to see if he still has that explosiveness.
Shefty, next one. Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders will start against Buffalo Saturday.
Well, this is the biggest quarterback competition going right now. Deshaun Watson started last week, played the first half. Shedeur Sanders will start this week against the Buffalo Bills and play the first half. You want to see how Shedeur fares. Cleveland still trying to make its quarterback decision. This is Shedeur Sanders' chance to shine. Let's see what he does with it on Saturday against Buffalo.
Tim, what do you need to see from Shedeur?
I just think he needs to kind of show better command of the offense, be more accurate, move the offense, because I think, like, it feels that Deshaun Watson is kind of outplayed him. Now, you're not there for every single, segment of practice, but from what we've seen so far, I mean, Watson definitely outplayed him. So I think you need to do something to prove that, like, no, I give you the best chance to win, Todd Monken. It's hard to become a head coach in the NFL. Who are you going to end up, trusting as your quarterback?
And then the last one, Shefty, Cam Ward really struggled in his preseason debut this year, 5 for 12 in a new offense. A lot of people were commenting on that. What kind of things have you been hearing?
Well, listen, I think there's some questions right now about how long it's going to take him to pick up this offense, how he's going to play. You saw these 8 rookie quarterbacks shine in the first week of the preseason. Drew Allar played amazing. Ty Simpson was off the charts. I think people are waiting to see that from Cam Ward, the former number 1 overall draft pick. Haven't seen it yet. Need to see it from him. Again, as Tim said, preseason doesn't count, doesn't matter. Does matter, but got to see some signs, some optimism here.
So I'm going to ask you, Jordan, the same question I asked you at the beginning, but in reverse. I asked you, how big a deal should I make about Drew Allar? How big a deal should be made of Cam Ward looking like he really struggled early?
It's apples and oranges, right? Allar is playing against 3 and 4s, right? Cam going in early is playing against a different caliber of defense. But I do think you have to not just throw it to the side. But here's where I say I'm not as worried. Brian Daboll did a really good job with Jackson Dart in his development early as a young quarterback. I think Daboll's going to get him right. So I'm not as worried by that performance, and I don't compare it apples to apples with a Drew Allar or a Will Howard in different scenarios.
Tim, finish it up for me here. How about that? How about early struggles in this new offense for Cam Ward?
Yeah, I think if he struggles for the first 4 games, I think the questions are going to be really loud. The thing that would make me nervous is his feet are all over the place. He's got a long windup. He was a very good prospect in college, but there have been signs of things that don't look great. Listen, you had to reboot year 1 for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Everyone understands last year was a disaster, but if you're not seeing progress, then I think the questions will come quickly.
Okay. And then one last thing I want to finish it up with today, because, every single day is a day for something, right? It's international this, it's national that. Today is International Hawaiian Pizza Day.
Oh.
And I'm going to make a statement.
Oh, no.
I'm not a hot take guy, right? There are some people who make a lot of hot takes, a lot of big statements. I'm going to make a statement right now, and you can fight me if you want to on this. I'm not knocking Hawaiian pizza. If you enjoy it, then by all means, enjoy it. You're welcome to like anything you like to eat. But it is my firm opinion. In fact, I don't even think this is an opinion. I think this is a statement of fact. The moment you put pineapple on a pizza, it ceases to be a pizza. A pizza does not have pineapple on it. Once you put pineapple on it, you are now creating a different food What the actual heck is this? This is okay.
Yeah,
this is go ahead.
Did they make that upstairs?
Obviously so. You're gonna eat that?
Yeah.
You're gonna eat that's
Pizza.
Pineapple on a. Oh my God! Oh, the humanity! Oh, this is horrific. Shefty.
That's great.
Look at Shefty's face. He's got exactly the right face.
That's good breakfast, too.
That is not pineapple. Once you put pineapple on a pizza, it ceases to be a pizza. Your thoughts? I may be a professional overreactor, but I stand by this one. What do you think?
I've never had pineapple on my pizza. I don't intend to ever have pineapple on my pizza. If I'm going to have pineapple,
Come on.
I'm gonna eat pineapple.
Come on. Come on.
No,
That's exactly
You got
right.
to.
No.
I like pineapple.
I don't want that.
I like pizza.
Get that
They
out of
do
my
not
face.
belong together. Tim Hasselbeck, what do you think?
Oh, that's good.
Listen, Greeny, 2 things I think just happened. One, so now we know this about you, and I agree with you, Greeny. We also know that, Schefter didn't eat because he's literally not human. If you cut Schefter, he doesn't bleed. He doesn't eat. He's done all kinds of fantasy leagues. He's constantly working. He doesn't sleep. He's got 15 dogs at his house. A lot of information that came out on Hawaiian Pizza Day.
That's exactly right. Now, whoever would have thought that International Hawaiian
How do you feel
Pizza
about honey
Day
on pizza?
What's that?
Honey on pizza?
It's ridiculous.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
Pizza is so good. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't
That
need
is
anything.
untrue. Ranch,
Pizza.
hot honey, pineapple, throw it all on there.
Pizza is a very specific food. You are changing it. You are making it entirely. It's not the way this was intended to be. This is way worse than NFL players going back to college. All right, first take is right around the corner. Will Jalen Hurts be better off without A.J. Brown? Do the Raiders have the right plan for Fernando Mendoza? Answers to those questions and more. First takes on ESPN2 in